Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is November 8th of 2025. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage an apocalyptic, earth-changing, DEFCON level event in the United States or around the world between the dates of November 9th through the dates of November 11th in the United States, which would be the morning of November 12th in the rest of the world. In other words, the CIA is going to stage a watershed moment in time like event in the next 72 hours. Specifically designed to spawn a second global biological outbreak as pretext for a global pandemic and or trigger World War III. So really quick, the numerology of November 9th, 9/11, 11/9, aside from being the emergency number in the United States, 911, this number is present in two historical events that ultimately changed the direction of their respective countries. Firstly, on November 9th of 1938, the CIA staged the so-called Kristallnacht attacks, which was a neo-Nazi attacks against targeting Jews in Germany, which ultimately led to the Holocaust and the subsequent creation of Israel. And in the United States, the number 11/9 or 9/11 was the false flag Al-Qaeda 9/11 attacks targeting New York City and Washington, D.C., which essentially was a coup d'etat in the United States by the neocon establishment. The chief architect of which, Dick Cheney, just died, and an apparent blood sacrifice offered up to the impending attacks that are about to befall the United States and or the world in the next 72 hours. Coincidentally, the date of November 11th or 11/11 is possibly the most solemn holiday around the world. In the United Kingdom, it is called Armistice Day. In the rest of the world, it's called Remembrance Day, and in the United States, it's called Veterans Day. So between the November 9th and November 11th, we can expect some sort of made-for-TV event designed to forever change the direction of the United States or the world for the worse. Exactly what type of event is planned is obviously not known. I'm going to highlight the most likely scenarios that are going to transpire in the United States or around the world in the next 72 hours. So just to be clear, this is Switzerland and her CIA in Geneva, Switzerland. The CIA headquarters is located beneath Lake Geneva in Switzerland, and they're going to order their Israeli Mossad, their Israeli Navy, or the Israeli Air Force to basically stage a false flag attack, or they're going to stage some sort of major earth-changing event, which I'm going to detail. These include, but are not limited to, an apocalyptic asteroid or comet strike, a political assassination most likely targeting Donald J. Trump or Vladimir Putin, designed to trigger the MAD scenario, the mutually assured destruction scenario, some type of nuclear-related event, a biological outbreak as pretext for a second global biological pandemic, the invasion of a foreign and sovereign nation, most likely by China, Iran, Pakistan, Russia, Turkey, or North Korea. Some sort of false flag attack targeting one or more aircraft carriers, a coup d'etat, the overthrowing of a current government in the world as pretext for an escalating international crisis designed to trigger World War III, possibly in the aftermath of a storming attack, some sort of electromagnetic event which results in a prolonged blackout, or an apocalyptic cyber attack. If the CIA stages a nuclear event, it's going to be most likely include a 9/11 style attack, a dirty bomb attack, an atomic bombing, a hydrogen bombing, a thermonuclear bombing, a nuclear ICBM strike, a suitcase nuke attack, a neutron bomb, an antimatter weapon attack, or a radiation dispersal device related attack. What's imperative to note here is that if this attack is going to be executed by the CIA in the next 72 hours. It's most likely going to be biological, chemical, nuclear, or radiological in nature, and it's most likely going to involve one or more of the following: China, Iran, North Korea, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, or Russia. Possibly featuring an act of war, some sort of full-scale invasion, a bombing, a bombardment. And if in respect to Russia, it's probably going to feature one or more of the super weapons that Vladimir Putin unveiled a few years ago. If the CIA goes to their bread and butter, which is expected, they'll most likely stage an Islamic terror attack, possibly targeting Jewish-related entities or the United States, and it will be subsequently blamed on Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab, Boko Haram, Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthi militia, ISIS, Muslim Brotherhood, or the Taliban. Really quick, I just want to highlight the plots which I have identified thus far. This does not encompass all reports published, but this is just basically the top 10. So tomorrow in the morning, there's going to be a NFL football game between the Atlanta Falcons and the Indianapolis Colts in Berlin, Germany. Some sort of mass attack is expected, possibly featuring a Russian bombing attack targeting Berlin. This is most likely going to be executed by the Israeli Mossad and subsequently blamed on Russia to trigger World War III. I just published reports for a Nick Fuentes incited truck bombing attack targeting African American and Jewish related entities in the United States. The CIA is also plotting a false flag Russian-backed Islamic terror attack targeting Dublin, Ireland, as well as Sicily, and they also could attack Berlin, given that the game is going on there at Olympic Stadium in Berlin. I identified a Joseph Kony-led Lord Resistance Army base attack targeting Christian churches in Central African Republic, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Sudan, South Sudan, and or Uganda. And Iran-backed ISIS-based attack or invasion targeting the U.S. Marine Corps base at Parris Island in South Carolina. A North Korean nuclear strike targeting the USS George Washington aircraft carrier while anchored in Busan, South Korea. A Chinese Navy Fujian aircraft carrier-based attack targeting the Thai aircraft carrier called Chakri Narubut. A Russian nuclear-powered Poseidon torpedo strike targeting the Charles de Gaulle aircraft carrier in Toulon, France. And a U.S. B-21 Raider, some sort of strategic bombing attack targeting the Kremlin in Washington, in Moscow, specifically to assassinate Russian President Vladimir Putin and trigger the mutually assured destruction scenario as pretext for all-out nuclear World War III. In closing, the impending event that's going to transpire in the next 72 hours could happen at any time, but it's most likely going to happen on the evening of Sunday night in the United States, which is November 9th, which is a Monday Night Football game between the Steelers and the Chargers in Los Angeles, California. And then on September 10th, there's also a Monday Night Football game in the United States. I don't have the teams offhand, but these are live television events with hundreds of millions of viewers. And I applied for political asylum in Switzerland back on March 8th of 2011 after identifying a 9/11 style Al-Qaeda nuclear terror attack targeting the Super Bowl XLV in Dallas, Texas back on February 6th of 2011. And therefore, the CIA cannot attack the game directly as they originally intended to, and so they have to seize upon the live broadcast of the game instead and to stage some sort of an attack while the viewers are watching. And so that appears to be the case once again And so in this next 72-hour window between the dates of November 9th, Kristallnacht Day and 9/11 Day, and Veterans Day, Armistice Day, and Remembrance Day on November 11th, some sort of mass attack, a mass terror event, apocalyptic asteroid attack or apocalyptic nuclear event is expected. And that is because this government shutdown that's going on right now is basically they're getting ready to shut down the whole government in the aftermath of this impending attack, which may also assassinate U.S. President Donald J. Trump. So this is what the CIA has been planning, and this weekend there's a high probability, given the holidays that are coming up, it's highly likely that the CIA is going to stage some sort of mass attack or terror event and begin the systematic destruction of the United States, as we saw with the 9/11 attacks in the United States in 2001, as well as the Kristallnacht attacks in Germany back in 1938, that they will use this event as a catalyst, as a pretext to stage draconian events, possibly martial law, the deployment of the U.S. National Guard, limits on free speech, and so on and so forth. And so this is all they've been setting this up for years, and so they will likely stage some sort of event during this period of time. So obviously, if this happens, if shit hits the fan in the next 72 hours, it's not a coincidence. It's not organic. It's not anything but Switzerland orchestrating this mass attack on humanity, because the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland has been identified. It's gone viral all over the world, and so Switzerland and her CIA are absolutely desperate to destroy America as we know it and kill everybody that is privy to this information. And they're going to start with the United States because it's the biggest threat to them. They are a teeny-weeny country. 11 Switzerlands fit into California alone, and they cannot handle the United States directly, and so they have to destroy it with engaging it in a prolonged war with Iran, with China, or with Russia. And this is what they're planning on doing, and this is what they've been trying to do, and they're going to try to do it again this weekend. And so obviously, if this happens, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.